Good evening, everybody. Todd Miller and my partner, Cribe Jared Young, here for Local Sports Program and the Nevada Storm. Another game ahead of us, Jared.
Yeah, Todd, it's great to be here. Jared Young, your voice of the Nevada Storm. Tonight we have a fantastic matchup for you, something that I don't think you folks at home have seen before, an interdivisional matchup between the Wasatch Warriors and your Nevada Storm. So the Wasatch Warriors were formed in 2019. They had their last season last year, 2021, and they actually won the Legacy Bowl, which is their version of the national championship, which is, I mean, that's pretty awesome for your first season. They had 12 All-Stars last season, and they are currently the #1 seed in the WTFL Women's Tackle Football League playoffs. So
it's kind of like a AFC, NFC kind of thing before NFL got joined, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. Tonight is going to be super interesting. The Wasatch Warriors actually are only going to have 12 players here to play, which is going to be it's going to be a tough game, I would say, for them. They're going to have a lot of players that are going to be playing both sides of the ball. Only one player is going to be on the sideline for them at a time. So I hope that they're well conditioned, because
they better be.
On their roster as a total, I think that they only have 16 players that were uninjured coming into this game. So we'll see what happens. They've scored 44 points on the season. They have had no points scored against them, which, that in and of itself is an accomplishment. But they will be going up against a very, very tough Storm team, who has posted big numbers against both the Minnesota Vixen, and even though they dropped 2 games to the Cali War, they fought them very tough. So as far as the the Nevada Storm goes, the Nevada Storm is averaging 35.4 points per game. They have 177 points on the season. They have 1,847 total yards on the season, and they're averaging about 369. Coach Adam Barrett told me to keep an eye out tonight, as the Nevada Storm are going to be pulling some tricks out of their pocket. So we should be in for an interesting game. The Nevada Storm are 4th in the American Conference and currently 6th in the Massey ratings, only behind Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Cali, Arlington, and the #1 ranked team in the nation right now, the Boston Renegades. The Massey ratings, of course, will determine where they fall in the playoff seeding. Right now, the Nevada Storm are looking at the #4 seed and are assumed to be playing Arlington in the first round, the Arlington Impact. Last week, your Nevada Storm had a tough game against the Cali War, where they lost 20-12 in a heartbreaker off an interception for their last drive of the game. However, the Storm's defense is doing a fantastic job this season, only allowing 114 points on the season. They are, however, leading the league in penalties with 38 at the moment, averaging 7.6 penalties per game, with 302 penalty yards on the season.
So this is going to be a little bit of a smaller operation than the games we've had in the past. We're going to have one field camera right here that I'm going to be operating, and we've got a camera on the scoreboard and then a camera for Jared. But we've just kind of scaled things back a little bit, made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you who don't know about Wasatch, they are actually just south of Salt Lake City in Utah. They're pretty much smack dab right in the middle of the state of Utah. So the Nevada Storm were posed to play the Kern County Crusaders. Unfortunately, that game was canceled due to some unforeseen events, and so the Nevada Storm are taking a W for that game, and instead are going to play Wasatch out of the kindness of the Wasatch Warriors' hearts tonight. So,
yeah, I'm really surprised with only 12 players that they'd actually, make the trip out here and still play. That's dedication for sure.
Well, these players don't get paid to play. It's all free for them. Excuse me, it's not free for them, but they are paying to play. They're not getting paid. So. And you can see right there the captains, number 34, Darnell Mute, number 1, Jesse Felker, number 99, Cindy Pita, and number 54, Carrie Mackey. And before we get too far into this here, I want to give a big shout out to number 58, Allie Adams, on the offensive line, as long as the entire Storm offensive line, for a fantastic season. They've done a fantastic job on the rushing end with 1,581 yards on the season for the Nevada Storm. They are the heart and soul of that rushing game. So I definitely just want to give them a big shout out, as the offensive line typically does not get as much recognition as they deserve.
Looks like we got a pretty good crowd going here tonight. More people walking in, especially as windy as it is, and I'm sure you will hear the wind on the camera mic. I've turned it down a little bit, but man, it is howling today.
Well, and I wonder how many of these fans are gonna stick around if the wind keeps up, especially after the sun goes down tonight.
Yeah, because it's already gotten I would say it's probably dropped close to 10 degrees since we started setting up. And you're right, and they're saying maybe a chance of rain, so we'll see. I looked at the radar. I don't see anything coming in right now, but it'd be interesting.
It looks like the Wasatch Warriors have won the coin toss and have elected to kick. So Nevada Storm will be receiving the opening kickoff, and we'll be kicking off again at halftime.
Color guard is there, getting ready to come on the field, so do the national anthem.
And you can see if you look at the flags or Ambra Marcucci's hair, you can see that wind is really blowing out there.
Singing our national anthem once again this afternoon. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad
And a beautiful iteration of the national anthem by Miss Kathy Lance. Well, Todd, I wonder how. Oh, excuse me. We're doing a moment of silence. Well, Todd, I wonder how many Nevada Storm starters we're going to end up seeing tonight. I know that with only 12 players on the opposing side, and with the Wasatch Warriors being a fairly new club, how much the Nevada Storm is really going to play their starters with the risk of injury, especially getting ready to go into the playoffs.
Right. I mean, in this game, exactly. Why risk it? This game counts. It's just a game.
Right.
It's not going to count towards. Exactly. It's not going to count towards the record for or against it. So, can you just go and have a good time and test some things out?
Right. Yeah. I think that's what Coach Adam Barrett was kind of getting at tonight.
Could do some exciting plays,
And I was actually just informed by our PA announcer, Mickey, that we are going to be – there actually is no kickoff tonight. I'm not sure if that is a WTFL rule or if that is just to protect the players in this exhibition game. So the Storm will be starting off from their own 25 tonight. I am, however, excited to see this interleague game, since I've never really got to see any other teams from other leagues, an interdivisional game. In fact, I'd never even heard of the Wasatch Warriors previous to this. So
I was looking on the website for the football league, and I was like, "Where are these guys?" I had to Google them, and then I found out where they were. But
right. Well, even though it is an interdivisional game, the crowd is still trickling in here. These Nevada Storm fans are very loyal. Great to see it.
Handoff comes into the left side, gets up to about the 26, 27.
Yeah, number 64, Reese Lowry on that carry. Reese Lowry has not had a whole lot of carries this season, so it's great to see her getting the ball. Only 8 carries for 51 yards on the season, so maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of her tonight.
Play's blown dead.
Yeah, and a flag on the play there. I'm not sure. Looks like a false start on the Nevada Storm. Still going to remain second down here. Jasmine Plummer in the backfield for the Storm. Number 12, Mo Etchen at quarterback.
Hand off to the left.
Well, Jasmine Plummer on that carry. Jazz Plummer not quite having the season that she had last season due to injury, but she still has 50 carries on the season for 287 yards. She's averaging about 5.7 yards per carry right now. Only 3 touchdowns this season. I know she'd like to boost that number. And she is actually checking out of the game. And it looks like Jessie Felker is checking in there at tailback.
Steps back to pass. Overthrown just a little bit.
Yeah, and that pass soars over the head of number 1, Jessie Felker. She came out of the backfield and was trying to come down the sideline, but that pass just didn't quite make it.
I think I got caught up in the wind, definitely, because the wind's going from one side of the field to the other. Well, let's see, south to north most likely right now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And, we haven't seen many passes be overthrown this season. Most of them have been underthrown from the Storm, so that's Nice punt there, about 20-ish yards from number 14, Allison Adams of the Storm.
So I'm going to have to, it's going to take me a little bit to transition. I just got done with a whole season of lacrosse, and this is my first football game in a while, so. Crowd keeps rolling in. This is, yeah, we got a nice crowd here tonight.
Hey, these Storm fans are loyal, and they do not want to miss the last home game of the season.
Now, do they have a chance at all of getting a playoff game at home?
You know, I'm not sure. It's going to depend on the size of the playoff bracket. If there's only 4 teams in the playoffs.
And the ball's loose. It popped right out and went straight forward into the pile.
And it looks like it was recovered by the Storm. I couldn't quite see who recovered that ball.
Did I just see a flag come down too?
Well, if there was, he picked it up.
Okay. I thought I saw him throw something in the air.
And I could be wrong, but I think that may have been number 99, Cindy Pita, on the recovery.
1st and 10 for the Storm. Handoff and gets hammered right at the line.
Well, Mo Etchen turned to give that ball to Jasmine Plummer, and it was a fake and handed that ball off to number 64, Reese Lowry, but she was just met by a wall of the Wasatch Warriors. Even with 12 players, the Wasatch Warriors are playing a pretty good game here. Their defense is holding tough. So, and, you know, I do want to remind everybody the Wasatch Warriors did win the Legacy Bowl last season, the equivalent of the WFA's national championship.
So, 2nd down and 11.
Looks like Alyssa William in motion.
Gets up to about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and Jasmine Plummer took that ball herself. That's something that we were very accustomed to last season, but we have not seen a lot of that this season, especially due to Jazz's injuries.
The wind's moving my camera, and we're inside. 3rd down and 6.
Jessie Felker in at tailback. She checks in for number 22, Jazz Plummer.
Handoff comes to the inside, breaks through, has a hole. Gets all the way into Warrior territory. Falls down at the 38.
Yeah, and a great run by number 18, Sarah Colangelo. She's got 44 carries on this season for 401 yards and 4 touchdowns. She's also their number 1 linebacker on the defensive side with 29 tackles. Sarah Colangelo's kind of the player that they give the ball to when they need that first down. She plays fullback.
Little keeper there, faked me out. Gets up to about the 35. Flag.
Yeah, and she was tackled kind of weird. She got up a little slow on that. I wonder if she's a little shaken up. I
think what it is the shoes right there on number 28. I'm seeing those shoes, and you're thinking it's a flag because they're just about the same color.
Yeah, Alyssa William. Well, she's got orange and yellow because she's a speed demon. Her shoes are probably always on fire, so she's got a
block in the back on the Storm. So that's going to push him back to the 44-yard line.
Well, Jessie Felker's checked in for Mo Etchen in at quarterback.
Breaks through, gets up to her, crosses the 35, 30 still on her feet, 20, gets taken down at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, and a great run by Jessie Felker. That is something else that we are very accustomed to seeing, is that wildcat run by Jessie Felker. She fakes the handoff to number 22, Jazz Plummer, and takes it herself. She gets a great block right up the middle and really just hit that hole. Honestly, I thought it was gone there for a moment. She's got 77 carries on the season for 504 yards and 7 touchdowns. And she's leading the Storm in touchdowns at the moment. And Mo Etchen is checked back in at quarterback.
Handoff comes to the inside. Breaks one, breaks another. Past 20, 15, 10, 5. Still on her feet. Touchdown, Storm.
Yeah, and that's what Jazz Plummer has been waiting for. Her 4th touchdown of the season, and she takes it straight into the end zone. Had some beautiful blocks up front. There was nobody there.
I'm going to turn up a little bit of our music right now so we don't get copyrighted.
And I wonder if we're going to see a kick here from the Storm, where it's very unconventional to see a kick in the WFA. But it looks like Alyssa William is lined up for the kick. Jessie Felker, the holder.
It's up. And it's good.
And a great kick there for Alyssa William. One of the few point afters that we've seen this season. We're typically accustomed to seeing 2-point conversions from WFA teams. So
we're going to take a quick little water break. We'll be right back, folks. All right, welcome back, everybody. Todd Miller and Jared Young here, local sports program, bringing you the Nevada Storm and the Wasatch Warriors. 7-0 right now, Storm.
Well, and you're going to see here the Nevada Storm are actually going to kick off to the Wasatch Warriors, which is a surprise considering the Wasatch Warriors did not kick off to the Nevada Storm. We're not sure if that's due to a shortage player of Wasatch or if the Nevada Storm requested that to prevent injury. But we're going to see. Oh, and it looked like
there's a little scrum going for it.
And Madison Birdie comes up with the ball. And in WFA rules, you do not have to touch the ball for it to be live. So if the Nevada Storm recover it, even without it being touched by Wasatch, it is their ball.
That I did not know.
Yeah, and you know what? That is actually Maddie Birdie's 3rd recovery on a kickoff this season. So
then the curious thing is since Wasatch is a different league, did they not know that?
Right, and I'm not sure how those rules translate between the leagues. I do know that for the most part, the WFA plays by NCAA rules.
So 1st and 10 for the Storm. Ball at the Warrior 40.
Jasmine Plummer in the backfield for the Storm.
Handoff up the middle. Still on her feet. Still on her feet. Gets up to about the 29-yard line.
And Jazz Plummer had a great block up there by number 54, Carrie Mackey, but Carrie is down on the field. She is the president of the Nevada Storm's board. and as far as I know, the longest standing player on the team.
Now, how long has the Storm had a team? When was their inaugural season?
Let's see.
And I remember doing games back in 2019, but they were around before then, weren't they?
They've been around for a long time. I do know that, I'm not sure if CMAC has been around since the beginning, but I do know that Carrie Mackey has been playing. I believe this is her 11th season with the Storm, so they've been around for a long time. I do also know that the longest standing team in the WFA is the Minnesota Vixen, and they were established in 1997. So
wow.
The league has been around for a long time. For those of you who may be curious about my age, that was when I was born, actually. So I'm very young.
I'm not telling you my age or when I was born.
Well, CMAC is getting some help there off the field. While they help her off the field, let's take a moment to talk about that play. Jazz Plummer had a great run there. She had a nice hole, presumably created by Carrie Mackey, and then shedded two players before tripping and getting up to
and
just
she ran
about.
into a wall right there at the end. There was two defensive just basically almost standing there and just.
Right. Well, Jesse Felker's in the Wildcat.
Comes to the inside, goes back into the middle, still on her feet. Gets up to about they're going to mark it at the 17.
Yeah, and a beautiful run there by number 64, Reese Lowry. She shed one tackle and he said made it up to about the 17.
So for a hint on my age, you went to school with my oldest son. So
I did, yeah, yep. He was a sophomore when I was a senior.
Uh-huh.
So for information here about when the Storm first, when their inaugural season was, it was 2010, folks.
Wow.
2010. So it looks like CMAC has been around since the beginning.
1st and 10 for the Storm. Handoff comes to the inside. Still on her feet. Gonna walk right in for a touchdown, Storm.
Yeah, and Jazz Plummer for her 5th touchdown of the season, her 2nd one tonight. And this is the Jazz Plummer that we are accustomed to seeing. I love that she's getting out there, that she's getting the runs that she needs and getting the touches that we're used to seeing. She is last season's American League MVP. And it's good to see her back and not on the sidelines. So.
Oh, he turned off his music. We're good. Another kick for an extra point, and that's good.
Yeah, Alyssa William with another beautiful kick.
So 8:55 left in the first. 14-0 Nevada Storm over the Wasatch Warriors.
And so, I wonder if the Storm are going to be taking that kicking game into the playoffs if it really takes off here, because we're typically the WFA does not kick the ball. They're always going for the extra 2 points. And I wonder if that could work in the Storm's advantage, though, as they have not had a ton of success with these pro division teams scoring those extra 2 points.
That could work out. I mean, getting ready for the kickoff.
Ambra Marcucci to kick off the ball here for the Nevada Storm.
She just falls on it at the 32-yard line, just about there.
Yeah, ball recovered by number 26, Becky Reese, for the Wasatch Warriors.
Number 26 for the Warriors. Recovered kickoff. First and 10 Warriors.
Well, we'll finally get to see Wasatch's offense here.
Yeah, actually for the first time this game.
Right. I've been curious to see what they have up their sleeve.
Handoff up the middle. Gets up to about the 37-yard line.
And Stacy Shipman on that carry, and number 26, Becky Reese, who also recovered the kickoff, is in at quarterback.
So it's going to be second down and about 6. Well, keeper comes up, gets up close to a first down. See where they mark the ball.
And number 1, Mindy Zog on that carry.
And they're moving the chains. First down, Warriors.
Number 1, Mindy Zog with the carry. First down, Warriors.
Yeah, I wonder how much of an air attack we're going to see from the Warriors tonight. They don't have a lot of players to replace the any injured ones. So I'm curious to see what their game plan is going to be for tonight.
Well, they got the wind at their backs right now, so now would be the time to try.
Right.
The keeper goes to the outside, cuts back in. Nothing there. Looks like.
Yeah, and Mindy Zog tackled there by number 99, Cindy Pita. Excuse me, not Mindy Zog. Number 26, Becky Reese, tackled by Cindy Pita. Number 5, Rihanna Mitchell checks in for Cindy Pita.
I believe in this conference it's 8. I think there's like 16 or 18 teams, something like that.
Second down and 10 for the Warriors.
They go to Minnesota. This team here, they're going to Texas, and the guy that owns a new
Bumbled snap right there. Able to hand it off, but loss of about 2.
Yeah, and it looked like number 7 for Wasatch, Stacy Shipman on that carry.
Number 7 on the carry, Stacy Shipman for the Warriors. Storm Chasers continuing for the Storm.
And folks, this crowd is pretty impressive here for the last game of the season, again, especially an interleague game. These Storm fans do not quit.
Yep, impressive. Ooh, high snap, able to recover. Goes up the middle, bowls her way through all the way up to the 46-yard line.
And an awesome run by Stacy Shipman. The Warriors are not giving up on this drive.
So fourth down and about 6.5. See if they're going to go for it or.
Well, with as few opportunities as they've had to be on offense, I can't imagine that they're going to give it up here. 2 backs back.
Keeper comes to the inside, cuts the corner, able to get up to the 46, but far short of the first down marker. So it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, she was chased down by Rihanna Mitchell, and then number 18, Sarah Colangelo, just barely got a hand on her.
Yeah, they lost. They lost 58 to 56.
Well, a great defensive stand there by the Nevada Storm.
Both defenses couldn't stop each other. And they won. I guess they won on the final.
So we got timeout on the field called by the Warriors.
Well, I can't blame them. I'm sure
Yeah.
that they're tired.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick one ourselves. We'll be right back.
We also like to recognize our number 18, number 8, Kathy Garcia Smith. Number 1, Jessica. Number 1, JJ. Number 11,
All right, welcome back, everybody. Todd Miller and Jared Young here, local sports program. 1st and 10 for the Storm. Up the middle, breaks through, gets all the way up to about the 38.
And a nice run there by Jasmine Plummer, number 22. You saw Ambra Marcucci come in motion from the right side there. That's something that we'll see a lot from the Storm tonight. And Jazz checks out as number 64, Reese Lowry, checks in.
2nd down and 3 for the Storm as they come to the line.
And we're actually going to see number 86, Ambra Marcucci, in the backfield.
Comes to the inside, crosses the 40. Still on her feet up to the 35. Up to the 30. Gets taken down about the 27.
And it took about 3 tacklers to bring her down there, but a great run by number 86, Ambra Marcucci. She's an international transfer for the Storm this season from Italy. She's played all over Europe and even started the women's tackle football team in Portugal.
So, okay, and I'll ask, in a league that you don't get paid to play, that's some dedication to move to a different country.
Right.
I mean, so did she come here strictly to play football, or did she?
She told me that she wanted to play tackle football in the motherland of American-style football.
Wow.
And so that's why she's here. And she is even passing up an opportunity to play flag football for the Italian national team in the world.
Nothing there on that one. In fact, maybe a loss of a yard or two.
But yeah, she's passing up an opportunity to play flag football for the Italian national team in the World Championships.
Very cool.
So we are very blessed to have Ambra Marcucci here on the Nevada
Got
Storm.
a player down. Is that Mark? No, I didn't see the ball here.
Let's see. It looks like one of the linemen.
Timeout on the field. Let's see who is.
Maybe, if I'm not mistaken, the center, number 58, Allie Adams. Allie Adams, a vital part of that offensive line, as like I said, she is the center, and I'm not sure how deep they are at that position. With Carrie Mackey already going down, I'm not sure what the Storm are going to do here.
And going towards, since we're towards the end of the season, going into playoffs, injuries is not what you want right now.
Well, I'd imagine that they would probably just pull her.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that she continue to play as this game does not have any playoff implications. And she is being helped off the field there. I hope that is not serious. I would say going into playoffs that the Storm's biggest weakness right now is probably their offensive line. They are just beat up.
Second down at about 15 for the Storm. Oh, wait a minute. Faked knee out, that's for sure. Still on her feet. Going up the side and gets taken down at the 9-yard line.
And the quarterback, Mo Etchen, almost took that in for a touchdown. She had some great cutbacks.
That was a good fake because I wasn't even following the ball.
Yeah, it did. I mean, she did a great job faking that ball off to number 1, Jessie Felker, and she had some really great blocks up front. Had a couple beautiful cuts as well to shed some tackles.
Looks like it's going to be 1st and 10, just about the 11-yard line. So the Storm could get another first down out of this.
Right, and number 1, Jessie Felker, comes out of the game, and number 20, Maddie Birdie, checks in at tailback.
Handoff up the middle. Gets up to about the 6.
Yeah, and Maddie Birdie had a little bit of a hole, but it closed up quick there. Tackle made by number 7 for Wasatch, Stacy Shipman.
Number 30 on the carry, second down.
2:23 left in the first. 14-0. It looks like we got another player down again.
And this is not what you want from an exhibition game here.
And we were worried about the Warriors, and it's the Storm that's getting all the injuries right now.
Right. Well, number 12, Mo Etchen, the quarterback, and number 20, Maddie Birdie, check out of the game. It looks like Jessie Felker and Cassie Macias-Hicks have checked back in. I'm not sure which player is down there. I hope for the Storm's sake that it is not another offensive lineman.
Yeah. Well, you see you got somebody down, number 33's down there practicing long snapping or just snapping together. So.
Yeah, well, if she's practicing her long snapping, I can't imagine that Allie Adams is going to return to the game. J.J. Sanchez is already not in the game, and we saw Carrie Mackey, number 54, go down earlier. C-Mac looks like she is standing over there on the sideline. I'm not sure what the extent of her injury is.
Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
stereo stylus in this groove.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Well, folks, it looked like Rihanna Mitchell was our player who was down there on the field. She is a pivotal part of not only their offense but their defense, making blocks on the offensive side. And Coach Garza says that she is one of the best hitters on the team from a defensive perspective. So if she is out for the rest of the season, that is going to be a huge loss heading into playoffs. I wonder how the Storm are going to respond or who's going to take over that position, as I'm not sure that she is exactly replaceable. So Rihanna Mitchell down there on the field, they are putting her on the stretcher. I'm not sure if they have called a second ambulance or not, but as far as I'm concerned, she will not be returning to the game.
It's a safe assumption there.
Yeah. Well, we apologize for the long break. This is quite an unfortunate turn of events here for this exhibition interleague game.
I remember, like we were talking about off air, I remember watching Rihanna play youth football,
Right.
and she was out there clobbering people.
Right, yeah, she's a big member of the football community here in Reno, so it's a big loss. You see the players down there just trying to stay warm. And number 8, Cassie Macias-Hicks over there helping out, along with number 9, Courtney Breeden. Cassie Macias-Hicks is actually one of the secretaries for the Nevada Storm. I'm sure the Wasatch Warriors appreciated the long break, as I can only assume that they were pretty exhausted. And there you'll see they're taking Rihanna off the field. I'm not sure exactly what the injury was. She was moving her right leg, and they rolled her over onto her left leg. She's able to move both arms, so I'm assuming it's either a concussion or a neck injury. As you can see, they have her head stabilized there as she's coming off the field. So our thoughts go out to her family, and we hope that she is just doing okay.
Yeah, it does look like they have her head supported.
She is, yeah, but she is clearly conscious.
Yes.
So I'm not so sure that she was knocked out or anything.
All right, here we go. 2:18, and they're running the clock. 2:18 left in the first still.
Jesse Felker in to take the snap.
Second and about 5 for the Storm. Got a little movement on the line there.
And for those of you wondering who's in there at center, that's number 94, Sharon Searer, taking over for number 58, Allie Adams.
Keeps it, goes up the middle, and waltzes right in for a touchdown.
And her 8th touchdown of the season, Jesse Felker, takes it into the end zone. A couple other replacements there on the offensive line. Number 67, Lindsay Smiley. And if I'm not mistaken, number 85, Kaylin York made her way in there on the O-line.
Looks like they're going to kick it again.
Alyssa William to kick the ball.
Bad snap. Gets it up, though. Nice recovery.
And Alyssa William, 3 for 3. That was a great grab there by Jesse Felker to grab that and fix the snap.
Because it was definitely to the right
Right.
of her, so she had to pull that ball around and get it down. That was a great job. Whoops.
Well, at least you guys got to
yes,
see me up there.
I am terribly sorry about that, folks. Thanks for pointing that out. Sometimes that happens when you're a one-man operator running the switchboard and the camera and everything like that. So we've had enough screen time for Jared today, so that should probably be it.
Well, I know I'm not the Nevada Storm, but I sure hope that my face sufficed as
well, it's better than
as quality television.
Better than seeing mine. Here we go with the kickoff. Fielded at the 35. Gets taken down about the 39-yard line.
Yeah, tackle made by number 24, Mary Shoemaker. Becky Reese on the catch and run. And it looks like they're going to start at just about the 39-yard line.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. It's about the same place where the Warriors got the ball last time. The Warriors come up to the ball. Not much there. Almost looked like there's movement a little early, but there was no flag.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure who was in on that tackle. I did see Jessie Felker and number 11, Sarah Anderson.
So it makes it 2nd and 10 now. Clock ticking with just a minute left in the first.
Well, and great tackles there by the Nevada Storm, but again, I can't emphasize enough the impact of number 5, Rihanna Mitchell. She will definitely be missed on both sides of the ball here.
Well, keeper breaks through, breaks 2 tackles, gets up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, a great run there by Mindy Zog, number 1.
Third down and 6 for the Warriors. And at the end of one, 21-0 Nevada Storm over the Wasatch Warriors. So we're going to be right back, folks. On the Wasatch Warriors. Nevada Storm up 21-0 right now as we start the second.
Well, although the Nevada Storm have scored 21 points, they have suffered several injuries already to number 54, Carrie Mackey, number 58, Allie Adams, and number 5, the big one, to Rihanna Mitchell.
Bad snap, but able to recover from it. But hit in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up like 3rd and 11, 4th.
Well, and she was tracked down by number 18, Sarah Colangelo, and number 45, Ashley McLemore. Just nowhere to go.
So it's going to make it 4th down and 9. Ball on the 40.
Well, and after that last injury, I'm not sure how many players, how many starters are going to really get back into this ball game at this point. I'm not sure what kind of chances the Storm are willing to take here, especially getting ready to head into playoffs.
Handoff comes to the inside. Still on her feet, crosses the 45, but then gets pushed all the way back to the 43. I thought for a second she was going to lose that ball the way she was running with it. She had it sticking way out one-handed.
Well, and Mindy Zog, number 1 on that carry, she was almost taken down by Sarah Colangelo, who shed a nice block to try to make the tackle, but she just couldn't quite bring her down.
So that's going to be a turnover on downs. Ball goes over to the Storm.
Well, an exciting opportunity here for you folks. We get to see a lot of players that we may not have otherwise seen this season get into the game and make some plays here.
Handoff up the middle, has a hole, crosses the 40, gets all the way up to the 35 before she's brought down.
Yeah, Jazz Plummer with a great run there before being taken down by number 26, Becky Reese. Number 9, Courtney Breeden checks out of the game as number 86, Ambra Marcucci checks in. Number 1, Jessie Felker checks into the game for number 18, Sarah Colangelo.
1st and 10 for the Storm. Ball on the 35 of the Warriors. Keeps it, passes it this time. Just out of the reach. Falls incomplete.
Well, and if Ambra Marcucci is able to dive and make that catch, I think she gets up and takes that to the end zone.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody on her. She beat the cornerback and the safeties. That throw had the distance. It just wasn't quite into the hands.
2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle. Stoner free, crosses the outside. And gets taken down right about the 32. Nice shoestring tackle there.
Yeah, and Jessie Felker for a nice little 3-yard run there. Number 13, Amanda Gilda, checks out of the game. Number 64, Reese Lowry, checks in for 43, Autumn Gearinger. Storm are making a lot of substitutions here.
Third down and about 6. Handoff up the middle. Cuts to the outside. Still on her feet. Strolls right in for a touchdown, Storm.
And that's something I love about Jazz Plummer. She does not give up on the play. You'll see that she comes up and hits a wall and does not just go down. She bounces back out to the right side and takes it right up the sideline. And with her speed, she's able to just zoom right past the linebackers and the defensive backs. And really, that's what it was. She really just outran them. Alyssa Williams for the kick.
Oh, she blocked it, but she also took the full force of that kick right into her stomach, I think.
Well, a tough snap, and otherwise I think that ball would have been up and good.
Yeah, she could. It was a bad snap. Had a hard time getting it down.
Right. Well, Jessie Felker took quite a shot there on the ground as well. I hope that all parties are okay. And it looked like number 26 for the Warriors is the one that took that shot.
She took it hard.
Becky Reese, she's making plays all over the ball tonight. Yeah, I can't imagine that a swift kick from Alyssa Williams feels very good.
Yeah. So are they okay? So they are going to line up for kickoff. It looks.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not sure why the Storm are kicking off, but the Warriors are not. But Ambra Marcucci in there for the kickoff. 27-0 with 11:57 left here in the ball game.
No, not the Murray team. He's on the New York Knicks. Okay, But he was like, y'all played against him. He was ranked like number 3. He was with Montverde.
Kind of doing a running clock situation here, it looks like.
It was in Sacramento.
Kick off. Fielded about the 26 and goes down. Slides down before she gets hit at the 32-yard line.
Well, that ball was fielded at the 26 by number 26 and taken down by number 20, Maddie Birdie.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Ball at their own 33. So over listening to the refs radio, it sounds like they are doing a running clock kind of situation. So
yeah, I can't imagine at 27-0 in the beginning of the second quarter that they're too eager to make this game last longer than it needs to, especially considering injuries and the lack of substitutes the Warriors have.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. High snap. It's loose in the backfield, and she gets hit for a big loss all the way down to about the 6. They're going to put it favorable on the 19, it looks like.
Well, I saw Jessie Felker coming off the left side. She looked like she was in pursuit, and then Sarah Colangelo just burst through the line and for a big tackle on number 26, Becky Reese.
Timeout on the field called by the Warriors.
And I almost thought that Sarah Colangelo was going to strip that ball away.
So we have got 10:08 left here in the first half. The wind has not calmed down one bit, and it is getting colder.
It is getting a little chillier up in this booth, I will say.
Yep. And you were saying there's chance of snow up in the mountains,
Up
I'm
in the
assuming.
mountains, right. Yeah, tomorrow. Not down here on the ground floor to my knowledge. We'll see It is Reno, Northern Nevada weather though, so.
Yeah, just my luck. My garden will be buried in 2 inches of snow and wipe it out.
Well, 80 degrees one day and 40 degrees the next.
It was what, day before yesterday? It was 90.
Right.
So.
Yep. Nevada, where it snows in June.
Yep. No, I remember. I mean, I grew up in Tahoe. I remember it snowing in August one time, and then it rolled through, and it went right back up to like 70 degrees, and it all melted off in about 2 minutes. Second down for the Warriors. Little pass, intercepted.
Yeah, and it looked like there was some confusion on if the ball had been snapped there by the Warriors. Just tossed up and intercepted there by number 1, Jesse Felker.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Nevada Storm.
Yeah, that's her second interception on this season. And she's going to get a breather after that interception. And it looks like for the first time this season, number 19, Selena Verdon, is going to get in on offense. Let's see if she gets the ball here. It looks like she is going to be in there at tailback.
Handoff. Tries to just plow her way up, right up the middle, and the Warriors say no way on that one.
Yeah, she hit a wall and got tackled by two Warriors, number 66, Ashley Steely, and I was not able to catch the number of that second defender, but just nowhere to go.
So it's going to make it second down and almost 12 now. So there's a little bit of a loss on that one.
Well, Verdon and Etchen are going to check out of the game. Number 22, Jazz Plummer, and number 9, Courtney Breeden, are going to check in. It looks like number 1, Jesse Felker, to take the snap, 22, Jasmine Plummer in at tailback, and see if they direct snap to either one of them.
Direct snap, comes to the inside, has one to beat, and beats him, walks in for a touchdown.
And Jazz Plummer having a fantastic night tonight. 3 touchdowns. She's already doubled her season total on tonight's game. So her 6th touchdown. And she had some great blocks up front, and then it was just a foot race. And frankly, there's not many, I don't think, in the league that can keep up with Jazz Plummer.
Setting up for a kick again for the extra point.
Let's hope nobody gets kicked in in the stomach this time.
Snap's good this time. Up. Oh, and just that was a little low rocket, but it goes just wide.
Yeah, if that had been on center, I think it would have gone through, even though it was a little low, but wide left. So with 7 minutes and counting left in the half, 33-0 now Storm over the Warriors. Yeah, I wonder if Alyssa Williams is a little nervous after that last blocked kick. She's 3 for 5 now on tonight's kicks. Now, is the extra point kick, is that something they have practiced? Or, you know, I have not seen much kicking at the Storm's practices. So I would assume that if they're going to kick the ball, that they're not just asking who wants to kick it. Well, if they're still practicing at Miraloma, there's really no goalpost for them to practice with, if I remember right. Right. Well, they're actually go all the way back to the end zone. And she's going to kneel on it, so it's going to bring it out to 20 or 25. The Storm actually practice over at Excel Christian Church now. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're not over at Miraloma anymore. And so there is a football field over there, and so I'm assuming that.
Well, then,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mariloma's just a little busy.
Yeah. Well, and I think that there's a lot going on there. I remember last season there was a soccer team practicing, and
Yes.
somebody from the Storm organization had a soccer ball kicked and broke someone's windshield.
Ooh.
So I can't imagine that
Yeah.
they were too excited to go back there this season.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Ball on the 25-yard line. Movement there.
And it looks like that's going to be on the Storm.
Yep, on the Storm. So that's going to give the Warriors a free 5 yards there. So it's going to be 1st and 5.
Well, and at this point, I'm sure the Warriors will take anything that they can
Yes.
get. 33-0 here with 4:50 left in the second quarter.
Pass, and it's caught. Crosses 40, 45-50. She's still going into Storm territory. Gets pushed out at the 40-yard line of the Storm. Nice little catch and run there.
Yeah, great catch by Mindy Zog. She was able to shed a tackle and run it up the field before finally being taken out of bounds by number 28, Alyssa William.
So this is the first time tonight that the Warriors have been in
The game.
the Storm territory too.
Right. Yeah, great. You know, hopefully maybe that'll spark some offense here from the Warriors.
Handoff up the middle. Still on her feet all the way up to about the 34 before the pile is finally stopped. See where they mark it.
And it looks like we have an injured Warrior down there on the field. That could be detrimental,
Yes.
not only just to the team.
We got a couple
But to the
injured Warriors
game.
down there. So we got timeout on the field.
Well, number 7,
Yeah.
Stacy Shipman, looks like she got up. But
Yes.
number 22, Des Viter, is still down on the field. And it looks like she is also being helped up, struggling to walk. I wonder how this is going to affect the game if the Warriors don't have anyone else to put on the field. Well, the Storm are trotting back out.
But the refs are still talking about it, so
And I'm not sure how much longer they're
because
going to let this go on.
yeah, one more injury and
That's
the
gonna-
game's
yeah.
over. Yeah.
Well, Des Viter is really hurting over there on the sideline. She is really not even walking herself. They're setting her back down on the ground.
2nd down and about 5. Looking to pass. Overthrown just a little bit.
Yeah, and
Kinda
Becky
little-
Reese's pass sourced right over the head of number 1, Mindy Zog.
A little bubble pass. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and the Storm were all over that backfield, just right up in the face of Becky Reese.
3rd down and 5 for the Warriors. Oh, tried to do a little lateral. Did not work. Storm picks it up and brings it all the way back to the 48. looked like a lateral, or did you think I got popped out?
Well, it looks like number 26, Becky Reese, is down there, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming that she got popped. Jessie Felker ran up and picked up that ball, but then was taken down by number 1,
See, and this
Mindy Zog.
This could be it right here.
Yeah, Becky Reese looks like she's in a lot of pain over there on the ground. She has her helmet off, which is not a good sign. I'm not sure.
I didn't see if the helmet got knocked off or if she took it off. I mean, I'm assuming for the Warriors that it kind of had to be a team vote whether
Right.
they wanted to play this game or not, and they said yes. So you got to hand it to them.
Well, the official is just came over and spoke with Coach Chris Garza. I'm not sure what that means. If somehow the game does continue, it will be Storm ball.
And that's probably why the official is running the clock, is because they can't. Yeah, they can't. They don't have anybody put in right now.
Right. I'm assuming
So-
that they're probably going to just take it right into halftime
Yeah.
and see how the game develops here.
Well, she's up.
And it looks like she's walking under her own power there. She's walking slow.
I mean, unless we change it to a 7-man footwork.
Well,
Right,
and
you know.
so consider this. If a player is injured, they have to come out for one series.
Right.
But if there's nobody to replace them, then it's not possible for them to come out for a series.
I think we're going to get a call from the refs right now. So we're just going to go automatically to halftime here, folks. So at the end of the first half, it is 33-0. Nevada Storm over the Wasatch Warriors. What do you think is going to happen, Jared?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's really going to depend on number 26, Becky Reese, and what her injury looks like. As it is, the Wasatch Warriors are already down to their last 11 players. And the Storm have also suffered a few injuries themselves, so I just wonder how long these coaches are going to allow this game to continue. With the loss of number 58, Allie Adams, the center, number 5, Rihanna Mitchell, and number 54, Carrie Mackey, all huge pivotal pieces of this Storm offense and defensive side. So,
Well, all right. We'll be back in just about 20 minutes. So don't go anywhere, folks.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Todd Miller and Jared Young here, local sports program, bringing you this Nevada Storm game. Just getting ready to start the third here, where the Storm's up 33-0, and we're actually kind of curious to see if the game's going to continue.
Well, you know, I saw number 26, Becky Reese, who was injured just before the half. I saw her out there stretching out, warming up. We saw the Storm down here on the sideline getting warmed up. And to my knowledge, the Warriors can play with 10 players if need be. So we will see what happens here. A little update on Rihanna Mitchell. It sounds like her injury was not too severe. So it sounded like she was having some back spasms related to a previous injury. So little update there for you. Allie Adams looked like she was limping a little bit there on the sideline during the half. And Carrie Mackey, I'm assuming, is sitting out as a precaution as a vital part of both their offensive and defensive line.
Sounds like I just got info. We're going to be doing 10-minute quarters for the rest of the game, it sounds like.
And I'm assuming probably a running clock as well.
Yes.
Well, Ambra Marcucci to kick off here for the Nevada Storm.
Well, looks like the Warriors have 11 players on the field.
Yeah, they do. Like I said, number 26, Becky Reese, was stretching out.
Yep.
It looked like she was running during halftime, and it looks like she also is back in the backfield for the Warriors.
Fall on the ball about the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Mindy Zog on that recovery. I can't imagine that the Warriors are going to be too aggressive here, as they're going to want to protect their players as much as possible, especially heading into the playoffs. A reminder that the Warriors are the number 1 seed for the playoffs in the WTFL.
And how many players did you see? Because I saw the roster earlier, but how many players were injured? It had to be at least a dozen or so, right?
Yeah, so their total roster is, let me see.
Handoff up the middle, has a hole. She's still going all the way up almost to midfield, gets taken down at the 49. That's the first down for the Warriors. One of their nicest runs of the night so far.
Right. Well, the Warriors have a total roster of 23. They have 7 currently injured. They were supposed to come here today with 16 and only came with 12 due to other injuries that they sustained in their last game. So they are pretty thin heading into the playoffs. Nevertheless, a tough team in their respected.
Handoff up the middle again. Gets about a yard or so out of it. Going to mark it at the 50.
The strength between leagues, though, is showing here. The Nevada Storm themselves used to look a lot like the Warriors as far as how many players they used to have and the strength. And so, you can never look at a team and scoff. Just because they're a little bit smaller or they're having a tough time, because the Storm themselves have been there. And if you talk to any of the veterans, if you talk to any of the coaches, they've played in those games where they're the ones getting blown out 60-6. So a lot of respect for the Wasatch Warriors, a lot of respect for any team really that is even just willing to get out there and play. So especially when women's football is not paid.
Yes. Read that snap just right. But able to bowl her way up to the 46-yard line.
And that ball barely got handed off.
Yeah.
It was about to get taken away.
So it's going to be third down and we'll call it 5.
Yeah, and Des Viter slow to get up on that last carry. Well, some good news, folks, hopefully. Allie Adams, number 58, the center, looks like she's standing down there on the field.
Looking to pass. Drops back deep and intercepted by number 30. Was that 39? Or no, excuse me, 28.
Yeah, Alyssa William on that interception. Yeah, and I think if she had just hung in that pocket maybe a little bit better, she would have been able to make a better throw, but she was just backpedaling, and it looked like she almost backpedaled about 10 yards or so before she finally got that ball off, and there really was just nobody out there. Well, Alyssa Williams' first interception on the season, so.
So 1st and 10 for the Storm. Ball on their own 45-yard line as they walk up to the ball.
Yeah, Mo Etchen and Jazz Plummer to take the snap.
Handoff up the middle. Has a blocker, but gets wrapped up rather quickly. No gain on that play.
Yeah, Jazz Plummer just refusing to go down there. You'll see that a lot throughout the season, especially when she's healthy. She is really tough to take down.
It's going to make it 2nd down and 10. Pass caught at the 46-yard line of the Warriors.
And a great one-handed grab by number 14, Allison Adams. Barely keeping her feet in bounds and making the one-handed grab with that extended left arm.
So that's going to make it 3rd down and a yard.
Nice ball placement there by Mo Etchen as well. Well, again, Jazz Plummer in the backfield for the Storm. Alyssa William and Jessie Felker out wide.
Little quarterback keeper up the middle. Still on her feet up to the 40-yard line. Gets taken down at the 38, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Storm.
Yeah, and she stumbled there a little bit, but nice little run there by Mo Etchen. Way to keep moving her feet. And if it weren't for a tackle there by number 36, Kenesi Wallentine, I'm not sure that anyone else would have taken her down. And people don't realize this about Mo Etchen, but she's got a set of wheels on her.
Handoff goes to the outside, cuts the corner. Up to the 30. And gets down to about the 26.
Big stiff arm there by Jasmine Plummer, number 22, on number 26, Becky Reese.
That moves the chains for the Storm. 1st and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line.
Well, Jazz Plummer and Reese Lowry are checking out of the game. It looks like Jessie Felker is checked back in. Along with number 13, Amanda Gilda.
Handoff up the middle. Nice hole. Still on her feet. Cuts the outside. Up to the 5. Gets taken down about the 3.
Yeah, and she had a great stiff arm there on number 56, which really let her take it up the field. I think without that little extra move there, I'm not sure that she breaks free.
Going to be 1st and goal for the Storm. Ball is on the 4-yard line. They're just abusing those runs up the middle.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mo Etchen checks out of the game, so I'm assuming it's going to be either a direct snap to Jasmine Plummer or Jessie Felker. Jazz Plummer checked in there at tailback. Jessie Felker in the quarterback position. And actually, Jessie Felker is coming out wide. Jazz Plummer in at quarterback. Felker comes in motion.
And I think she actually lost a yard there.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, they're going to, ball's placed on the 5.
Yeah, well, a little trickery there. It was a clean handoff, just nowhere to go with that run. Well, Felker's going to check out of the game, and Mo Etchen's going to check back in at quarterback. Jazz Plummer still in there at tailback. Mary Shoemaker and Courtney Breeden out wide.
A little keeper up the middle and walks right in for a touchdown.
And Mo Etchen into the end zone for her fourth touchdown of the season.
She was a little slow getting up, but so that's going to make it touchdowns can be 39 now with 39-0 with just about 20 seconds left in the third.
Yeah, Mo Etchen doesn't look like she's getting a full jog off the field there. She looked like she was shaken up maybe a little bit on the previous play before that. And as you said, she was a little slow to get up on that last one.
Going for the kick again. Nice snap. It is up. And that was just a bullet about 6 inches above the post.
Well, Alyssa William is now 4 for 6 tonight. Had one blocked and one missed kick. But other than that, the Storm's kicking game is going great. And, and honestly, if she could straighten it out, they could have a pretty legitimate field goal unit out there. You don't see too many field goals in the WFA. I actually don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Hey, we got recognized down there.
Well, since he just gave us a shout-out over the PA, I definitely want to give our PA guy a shout-out here. Mickey, thank you very much. Mickey's giving us a thumbs up.
So we're into the fourth quarter, and as I said earlier, we're doing 10-minute quarters now. So it's going pretty fast, and a running clock.
Yeah, probably best here, 40-0. So a lot of injuries going on here. I would say that's best. Ambra Marcucci into kickoff for the Storm. Well, as you just heard, I'm sure over the microphone, the Nevada Storm have a lot of All-Americans this season. They've had a fantastic season as their first year in the WFA Pro.
Gets it out to about the 30 and takes a knee.
Yeah, Mindy Zog taking that kickoff. I'm sure for the first half of the game, Becky Reese for the Warriors was handling all the kickoff duties as well as the quarterback duties. And obviously with the short staff, linebacker duties as well. But she was handling all the kickoffs, and I think after she got shaken up just before the half, I think they let her know, hey, stay out of it. You can see Becky Reese over there getting the call from her coach. And it looks like the Warriors may only be playing with 10 on the field. Number 77, who I do not have.
Nope, they're replacing her. So And she's not looking too good either.
She was. I can't see her number, but she was shaken up in the first. Number 22. Excuse me. Number 22, Des Veter, is coming back into the game.
And now she's not.
And it looks like the Warriors are going to play with 10, as we had previously talked about.
So I'm assuming. Does that mean that the Storm's at so the Storm's at 10? Yeah, it'd be kind of strange if they weren't.
Right. Well, we're playing a little 10v10 football here, folks.
Little run gets hit in the backfield for the loss of a couple.
Well, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Becky Reese, after she handed that ball off, put her hands up in the air. She wanted to make sure that everyone knew she did not have the ball. I can't imagine if what would happen if the Warriors suffered another big hit on their roster there. And it also looks like number 7, Stacy Shipman, is a little shaken up there as well.
Got a pile going up the middle, gains a couple yards out of it, almost back. Looks like they're going to get past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Mindy Zog was just met by a wall of Nevada Storm there.
So it's going to make it 3rd down and 9 now.
Yeah, it looked like Kaylin York, number 85, on the initial tackle. And number 32, Sandra Mitrovic, checks out as number 70, Melanie Adams, checks in on that defensive line. And the Storm still have their starting linebacker core out there on the field.
Gain of about 2, but it's going to bring up 4th down and 7.
Well, I could be mistaken, but it sounds like the Storm players are cheering for the Warriors starting 10 there. I think they're trying to just give them as much encouragement as possible as they continue on with this game.
No, I did notice earlier that they were patting each other on the backs and stuff like that, and just.
Well, women's football is very supportive of each other, even with the tough loss to the Cali War last week. They still met in the very middle of the field after the game and said a prayer together. So they're very big on sportsmanship. Refreshing to see.
Yes, definitely. 4th down and 7 for the Warriors. Looking to pass. Oh, and gets it off, but it's intercepted. That was kind of tough one. She threw that one, and she had 2 people right in her face.
Oh, yeah. Sarah Anderson was right up in her face. Interception made by Alyssa William. Her 2nd interception of the night, actually. And of the season, as a matter of fact. So
it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Storm now. Ball on the 39-yard line, or 38.
Yeah, 40-0 here with 4:40 left in the 4th quarter. Still have a running clock. Maddie Birdie in the backfield for the Storm.
Handoff comes to the inside. Stays on her feet, gets all the way up to about the 30. See where they mark it.
And does a little bit of a spin move there, does Maddie Birdie. You can see she's playing with a cast on her left arm, but it doesn't seem to affect her. I saw her with a pink one last week when they were doing breast cancer awareness. So I'm not exactly sure what her injury is, but It's obviously not stopping her from playing.
2nd down and 3. Handoff. Gets enough for, it's going to be close to a 1st down. Let's see where they mark it.
Yeah, number 9, Courtney Breeden on that carry.
Okay, it looks like they're going to mark it a yard shy.
Taken down by number 46, Emily Stahl on that carry. Number 67, Lindsay Smiley checks out of the game. And it looks like we're going to see number 19, Selena Verden, check in there, as well as number 16, Marcy Roman. Marcy Roman in there at what looks like fullback.
False start on the Storm.
Yeah, and this is an interesting formation here. We haven't seen a lot of this season. They have one out wide. It looks like number 13, Amanda Gilda, out wide to Mo Etchen's right.
Handoff. And gets hit in the backfield.
Yeah, it's almost immediately taken down there by number, what is that, 29.
29, yep.
KP Parrish. We haven't said her name a lot tonight. But she came off that edge very quickly. Well, Ambra Marcucci is checking in for number 85, Kaylin York, as well as number 7, D'Angelo Trujillo, checking in for number 19, Selena Verden. And it looks almost like the same formation. Amanda Gilda out left this time, though.
Well, I'm sure it does kind of change the playbook when you have, one less person on the field.
Right. Well, great block there by Cindy Pita, but it just wasn't enough for D'Angelo Trujillo to get anything.
So that's going to be a turnover on downs. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. I think this is the first time that the Storm has not scored in a possession tonight.
All night. Actually, we did have one punt earlier in the game at the very beginning. Well, I'd like to see the Warriors get something going here. Let's see if they can produce a little offense. I'm sure they've got to be exhausted. 44 seconds left in this game. Let's see. They may even just take a knee here. And a similar formation to what the Storm had.
Comes to the inside, stays to her feet, and gets all the way up to about the 35 before she's brought down.
Yeah, direct snap that time to Mindy Zog, number 1.
And I think that's probably going to do it for the game.
Yeah, number 26, Becky Reese, was in there as a blocker, and she took a huge hit. So final score, folks, 40-0, your Nevada Storm. In a blowout, a tough game riddled with injuries. And, to be completely honest, I'm surprised that the game continued on for as long as it did. The Warriors really were just tough out there. They came back on the field battling injuries throughout the game. Halftime, I really wasn't sure whether or not the game was going to continue. I know Todd and I were having a conversation about it, but they were tough. I've also never seen two teams go down to only 10 players on the field, so that was a bit of a surprise myself.
Definitely impressed.
Yeah. the tenacity of the Warriors was very impressive, and just obviously a great showing by your Nevada Storm. Reese Lowry, that if she's not able to return for the playoffs, that is going to be a really tough break for the Storm. I'm hoping that she's able to recover from whatever her back injury turns out to be.
Mitchell.
Rihanna Mitchell.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah. Well,
I think that's
I
going to
think
do it
that
for
pretty
the
much
night.
wraps
Yeah.
it up for us.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Actually, before we go, I just want to give a big shout out to the local sports program, to our guy up in the booth here, Mickey, to our officials down on the field, and your Nevada Storm.
Yeah, and if by luck they get a home playoff game, well, we'll be here again. So
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jared. And
Thank you, Todd.
yep, and we will see you all later. Have a good night, everybody.